Hello, boys and girls. This is your language arts lesson for Monday, May 4th, 2020. And we will start with a little introduction because we are beginning Unit 6. Here we go. I made a little video here for you. And hi, boys and girls. So we are starting Unit 6. It is our final unit in our language arts series. And this week, we're going to work on traditions. So I have a little poem I want to read to you. Excuse me. So it's, do you like baseball? I do too. It's my favorite thing to do. Like Gibson, who could really hit, I practice and play quite a bit. It's no secret I have a dream to someday join a big league team. So your story of the week is just like Josh Gibson, and it's about a baseball player. So, so I want to go on and show you this little video. Are traditions and celebrations important in our lives? Watch the video, then use the journal to respond to the prompt at the end of the clip. So don't worry about the journal part. We're just going to look at the video, okay?
Are traditions and celebrations important in our lives? Traditions and celebrations are important for our families, for our country, and for our culture. Traditions are ways of doing things that are passed down from generation to generation. They can include certain foods, music, and times to celebrate. Families have their own traditions or celebrations. They come together for ceremonies, such as graduation from high school or college, to keep alive the customs of their homelands, or just for family fun. They also celebrate community festivals, such as Chinese New Year. Each type of celebration brings family members together and creates family pride. Sports are another important tradition in our culture. Every 4 years, Americans send teams of athletes to participate in the Olympic Games, athletic events that showcase the greatest champions from around the world. A rodeo showcases the skills of cowboys and celebrates the occupations and traditions of the Old West. Here, highly trained riders use lariats or lassos to capture livestock and display their horseback riding skills. Our country has many traditions and celebrations. Some involve an important symbol of our country, our flag. The 4th of July, or Independence Day, is the anniversary of the United States independence or freedom from Great Britain. For all Americans, paying allegiance or respect to the flag has been an important way of showing that we are patriotic or proud of our country. In this unit, you will learn about traditions and celebrations that are important in our lives. What traditions and celebrations are important in your life?
Okay, so these are a couple of pages in your Reading Street book, and I wanted to talk to you about what's happening here. So, I want you to consider this question. Why are sports traditions important in our country? So just think about that. Be ready to talk about that in our Zoom meeting today. But let's take a look at what's happening on this page. What is the man here teaching this little boy to do? Well, he's teaching the boy to dribble a basketball and probably teaching him the whole sport of basketball. So I have another question. Why might the girls want the female athlete to sign a ball for them? Why do you think they want her to sign that ball? Well, I think that they are her fans and they look up to her as an athlete, so they want to learn from her. And then let's take a look at the boy holding the Special Olympics medals. How might sports be important to these athletes? Well, sports can be challenging and they can help them feel proud of their accomplishments. So, that's a little bit about that page. Now I have a song for you. Let's see.
When you're an athlete and part of a team, each game is a challenge, each win is a dream. You make your best effort, you love to hear cheers. It's what other athletes have done through the years.
We're going to go on now to our phonics. So we're working on a few endings to words this week, and the ES ending is displayed in this picture of this poor little boy. So the word cry is spelled C-R-Y, and if you want to write the word cries, you drop the Y and add ES. You drop the Y and add an I and add ES. So, let me make that clear again. So you drop the Y and add an I, and then you add ES to change cry to cries. Now, here, we're going to work on another ES ending. So here, the base word is drop, and the word is drops. So when you add the ending ES to drop, you double the final consonant in the base word drop. Instead of D-R-O-P, you double the final consonant to make it drops and add ES. So that's one of the rules I want you guys to remember, that you double the final consonant when you add an ending to a word. And we're going on to the ing. So here the base word is swim, and when you add ing to a word that ends with the final consonant, you double the final consonant. So instead of S-W-I-M, you double that M, so it's S-W-I-M-M-I-N-G. Okay, so those are some word endings. We're going to practice some of these words with endings added to them. So go ahead and read these words with me. Smarter, skated, judging, dries, happiest, running, walks, driving, bigger, chatted. So that's your practice. And now we're back in the readers and writers notebook, and we're going to practice some inflected endings. So let's take a look at these words and note tap. When you have a final consonant, which is the last consonant in the word, the base word tap, we doubled it to make tapping. Or the base word stop, we double the final consonant to make it stopped. And then we have silliest. Silly is spelled S-I-L-L-Y. So we dropped that Y and made it an I before we added E-S-T. Silliest. Rides and ranches. So these are some sentences I can read. Did you hear tapping on the window? We stopped telling him the silliest jokes. Who rides on those ranches near you? So here's a little thing I want you to read, and you guys can read along with me as I read it. The happiest persons never stop learning. Is your goal riding your bike faster, or would you like to know how a person bakes the nicest cakes and cookies? Some people are finding out how to sing the prettiest songs. Others wish to find out about swimming longer distances. Keep looking for things that you find interesting. If you stay interested in finding out about yourself and the world around you, you will never be bored. And there are a lot of inflected endings throughout that little story. So now, you guys are ready to do page 481 in your Readers and Writers Notebook. So you are going to read each word, find the base word, write the base word on the line. So notice these. Try, when you add ed to try, you drop the y and add an I, and then ed. Here we've got trying, T-R-Y-I-N-G. Here you just add ing. So you're going to find the base word in these words. And then on the bottom, you're going to find the word that makes sense in the sentences below. Mark the space to show your answer. Now we're going to practice some of your vocabulary. Bases, places that are stations or goals in certain games, such as baseball. Cheers, happy or encouraging shouts. Field, a place of land used for some special purpose, like a baseball field. Plate, a hard rubber slab that a baseball player stands beside to bat. So that would be like home plate is where they bat. Sailed, moved smoothly like a ship with sails. Through, sent something through the air by force in your arm, like I threw a ball. And now you are ready to work on vocabulary in your Readers and Writers Notebook on page 482. You're going to pick a word from the box to finish each sentence. Write the word on the line. So here you go. And now we're going to take a look at comparing and contrasting. Okay, boys and girls, follow along as I read this page. So, compare and contrast. When you compare, you tell how things are alike. When you contrast, you tell how things are different. Like, also, both, and unlike are clue words. Use what you learned about compare and contrast to fill in a diagram like the one below as you read. What about a ball bounce? So, you see a little Venn diagram here. Those can be used to compare and contrast. So things that are the same about both go in the center, the intersection of the two circles, and things that are different go on the outside. All right. Down below, monitor and clarify. Active readers ask themselves questions during and after reading. If you are not sure of the exact answer to the question, you can go back and read again. Look for clue words or sentences to help you find the answer. Now we're going to look at this story, What Makes a Ball Bounce? A baseball and a tennis ball look almost the same. They are both round. They are about the same size. They also have seams on the outside. So let's look at the skill box. It says skill. This paragraph tells how baseballs and tennis balls are alike. What clue words are used to compare? So that's the skill box. Now we're going to go on to the next paragraph. What would happen if you used a tennis ball to play baseball or a baseball to play tennis? The answer is in the bounce. A tennis ball has much more bounce than a baseball. If you drop a tennis ball on the baseball from the same height, the tennis ball will go higher. A tennis ball is made of rubber and it is filled with air. Rubber and air help balls bounce. Unlike tennis balls, baseballs have a little rubber, but not very much, and they are solid inside. So let's read this little strategy box. Are you confused? Ask yourself, what are some differences? Read the article again and look for clue words to find the answer. So let's continue this. It is a good thing that baseballs don't bounce as high as tennis balls. A tennis ball hit with a bat might bounce right out of the park. And that is one reason it's kind of fun to play baseball with a tennis ball, because it goes very, very far. So that is comparing and contrasting. And now you are ready to work on that in your Readers and Writers Notebook. You are going to, on page 483, you're going to read the story, follow the directions. So you'll read this story, and then they tell you to underline the part of the story that tells how Rita and Will are alike. Underline is written in dark print. Write the name of the person who likes soccer. So here you're going to write that name. Write the name of the person who likes baseball. And write that name right here. Write a sentence to compare and contrast how Rita and Will feel about running. And then use what you know about sports. Think about what you read. List another sport that Rita and Will might like. So Rita's name's here. You'll put a sport she may like here and a sport Will may like there. All right. And this is your last, the last part of this lesson. You're going to read this realistic story and note the key features of a realistic story. So you're not going to write one today, but we are going to write one this week. So, running like Jesse Owens. You're going to read this story. So let's just read through it, okay? Rayshawn took his place on the track for the next running event, the 100-meter dash. He thought about his hero, Jesse Owens, who also ran track in high school. Over 80 years ago, Owens tied the world record for the 100-meter dash several times with a time of 9.4 seconds. Rayshawn's best time was 9.8. Could he tie Owens' record today? The starting gun went off. The runners raced down the track. Rayshawn tried to do his best. When Rayshawn crossed the finish line, the clock showed 9.7 seconds. Rayshawn had taken 1/10 of a second off of his time. He was even closer to Owens' record. So, that is a realistic story. And here are the key features. Characters and settings seem real. Characters do things that could really happen. And the story has a beginning, middle, and end. So start thinking about those things, kids, and start thinking about a realistic story that you can write this week. And that's it. Bye.